Inside a shop, bottles fell from a shelf in front of a woman, making her scream in fear. Nearby, a girl tripped near a bell, falling hard as people rushed in to help her. A runaway garbage bin rolled downhill as a man chased it helplessly. On the road, a scooter placed on a three-wheeler nearly slipped off, almost throwing the rider to the ground. A man cutting a tree watched in shock as it fell over with its roots exposed. The final moment showed a woman falling on the stairs outside her home at night, while a child stood frozen in shock. Man suddenly slipped from the front stairs of a house. Girl lost her balance and hit the ground in front of her friends, who burst into laughter instead of helping her up. Dogs startled a woman near the house, causing her to fall backward. Two cows bolted through a village street with a bed tied to their backs, turning the quiet area into a chaotic chase scene. Fuel leaked uncontrollably at a petrol station, forcing the worker to panic and flee as fuel spilled everywhere. Tornado formed beside a busy street, ripping through the area as people stood helplessly watching the destruction unfold. Ship suddenly flipped in open water, shocking nearby boaters who watched the dramatic scene from a distance. Child's bike rolled down the driveway on its own, causing the man trying to stop it to fall hard onto the ground. Man slipped and fell inside a truck while unloading cargo, leaving workers staring in disbelief. Person tripped on the street, crashing into stacked bags and damaging them in front of shocked pedestrians. Massive 3D screens inside the building created lifelike visuals that amazed everyone watching. Cargo spilled from a truck onto the road, crashing onto a nearby car and causing instant damage. Truck caught fire on the highway, but the quick-thinking driver pulled over to protect other vehicles.
Let's go, y'all.
Man and woman showed off risky tricks on an open field, drawing attention with their confidence and skill. Moving trucks struck a pole at a toll area, crushing the front end in a loud and sudden impact. Car slammed into a parked vehicle, smashing the rear end and leaving visible destruction behind. Girl angrily confronted a biker at a traffic signal after he teased her, creating an awkward public scene. Garage door closed unexpectedly as a car was reversing, crushing the back of the vehicle. Glass table shattered beneath a woman cleaning a chandelier, leaving her frozen in shock inside the room. Two people played table tennis from separate windows high above the ground, leaving viewers stunned by the risk. Fans celebrated wildly after bowling indoors, turning a simple game into a victory moment. Woman showed impressive shoe skating skills in the park, while her dog watched in pure confusion. Dog slipped on icy ground, scrambled frantically, and barely managed to escape the slippery surface. Woman rolled off her bed and hit the floor, sitting up in disbelief at what just happened. Two girls tumbled to the ground while playing on the street, turning fun into sudden chaos. Snowman shook violently in strong wind outside the building, creating an oddly unsettling sight. Carrier rolled down the street on its own, forcing the boy to chase it in panic. Man panicked during a mustache trim, causing the barber to cut one side unevenly and leave him regretting it. Men slipped one after another on a snowy street as helpers also lost balance. Man hit his head while loading a bike into a van, prompting laughter from everyone watching. Ceiling collapsed inside the building, crashing to the floor in a terrifying, sudden failure.
We gotta remove these bushes for the home.
Excavator accidentally tore down the front wall of a house while removing a plant, leaving the man stunned.
The bush! The bush!
Yeah.
Rainbow formed from high-pressure water spraying on the street. Smoke from the stove reversed direction, pouring back inside instead of escaping. Strange smoke rose from icy roads as people walked by, confused by the unusual reaction. Umbrella lifted into the air by a small tornado in an open field, spinning wildly as people watched. Man suddenly slipped from the front stairs of a house, leaving the onlooker frozen in shock at the unexpected fall.
Oh, here go your food. Here you go.
Thank you.
You welcome.
It's okay. They're friendly.
I don't like that.
Thousands of fish leaped out of the water as fishermen pulled in massive catches, creating an unbelievable natural spectacle. Split-second timing failed when a sudden turn sent the police car crashing into another vehicle. Gravity won the fight as the dirt bike slipped off the pickup, dropping the man hard. Calm power moved silently as the alligator glided through the water.
It's full of bats.
Another loading attempt went wrong when balance was lost, sending both rider and bike to the ground. Confusion mixed with humor as smoke appeared to rise from a football player's head mid-game. Fear turned real indoors when the cat panicked at the cheetah on the screen and bolted. Curiosity turned cute as the leaf-dressed cat sat proudly along the street. Patience replaced speed as the cat failed repeatedly to catch the mouse and waited strategically. Wind turned violent as umbrellas lifted off the ground, sending people running for safety. Teamwork saved the moment when the runaway tent was finally brought under control.
Get away! Move! 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 Get away!
Nature unleashed destruction as the mountainside collapsed, filling the air with massive dust clouds. Shock froze everyone as water smashed through glass doors and flooded the building interior. Unstoppable floods wiped out streets, cars, and homes right before helpless witnesses. Raging lake waves pushed boats onto land, tearing through everything in their path.
Malaka!
Total devastation unfolded when floodwaters carried an entire bus away in seconds. Panic followed as a pickup rolled freely down the driveway, smashing into a parked car despite the chase. Risky overtaking backfired when two cars scraped violently on a narrow two-way road. Danger brushed past when an overtaking attempt nearly caused a head-on crash. Loss of control inside the tunnel ended in a brutal rear collision, destroying the car completely. Skill met chaos as the driver slid across the highway, somehow saving the car against all odds. Sudden movement caused disaster when one car swerved and slammed into another.
Driving close to large trucks has
Tight space turned costly when the truck scraped past, tearing into the car's side and front. In broad daylight, a pipe suddenly exploded in front of a worker outside a building.
Right, if this is my last ever words, goodbye to everybody who I know.
Power shook the land as explosions sent thick smoke rising into the sky. Dust filled the air when the rolling machine shook loose, covering the area in clouds. Nearby, a massive glass window slipped while being unloaded from a truck and shattered into countless pieces. A lifter nearly lost balance while carrying a heavy load of wood, spilling everything across the ground. Inside a building, a boy tripped and fell flat on the floor while walking in, sending his friends into laughter. Moments later, a ceiling fan broke apart while a woman worked beneath it, leaving her staring upward in disbelief. Inside a factory, glowing red molten iron burst upward, flying through the air before sticking to a pillar. Beneath the water's surface, a massive fish swam calmly beside hundreds of smaller ones in daylight. In another scene, a woman dancing with trays of glasses nearly dropped them all. Elsewhere, a man built a long toy train and proudly pulled it along the street, his dog riding along with him. An unusual sight stopped traffic as a group of people dressed in dinosaur costumes crossed the road together. A man pushing a shopping cart suddenly slipped inside a store, injuring his leg. In the rain, a snake slithered through floodwater on a city street. A cat cleverly pulled food through holes in a wall and casually walked away. On a bridge, a truck driving onto a ship suddenly sank into the water during the crossing. High in the mountains, a large group of monkeys moved together across the landscape. Inside a building, a fish tank suddenly cracked, spilling water everywhere as people sitting nearby jumped back in shock. In a forested mountain area, a powerful landslide crushed a building beneath falling rocks. Strong winds then swept through another area, lifting objects and damaging structures. A massive section of a mountain wall collapsed, sending sand pouring out. In another landslide, the ground split apart, tearing a mountain road in half before stunned onlookers. In the city, an entire building fell in seconds as people ran for safety. Another building crumbled completely in daylight as crowds watched in disbelief. A falling tree smashed power poles and electrical wires in front of police officers. Nearby, the road itself split open, collapsing into the ground right before people's eyes. On a damaged road, a truck flipped into a massive hole as people looked on in shock.
Like this side.
A hot air balloon drifted out of control and landed on a parked airplane, leaving passengers stunned.
Pronto, time.
In another moment, a man spilled food everywhere while trying to pack it into a plastic bag. In a parking lot, a truck's container suddenly detached while the vehicle was moving.
Careful.
Inside a home, a woman lost balance on a couch and fell onto the floor. During a recovery effort, The top of a flipped truck broke loose and nearly struck a man standing nearby. A truck tire exploded while two men were filling it with air, leaving them stunned. On a busy road, a biker nearly lost control under the weight of heavy cargo.
Mete la pierna, mete la pierna. Todavía sigue increíble.
On a mountain lake, a crocodile lunged toward people in a boat, creating panic. In the ocean, a man caught a rare two-faced fish with a single body.
Em 30 anos de pesca, ou mais que eu tenho, eu nunca vi tubarão com duas cabeças, primeira vez. E ele tá vivo, ele tá fingindo de morto, mas tá vivo.
In the city, smoke suddenly began rising from the road, drifting into traffic and reducing visibility. At a construction site, a truck began rolling on its own as a man ran desperately after it. At night, a girl playing outside a building fell hard in front of another child and injured herself. At night, inside a tunnel, a truck lost control and slammed into the wall as people watched in horror. A massive dust cloud then swallowed an entire road in daylight, leaving drivers with zero visibility. Inside a home, a stove caught fire as a man panicked and mistakenly threw water on the flames. In a shocking moment, a man tried to kick another person but hit a barbecue grill instead.
That was you.
In another area, water burst from the street and flooded the road, damaging parked cars. Shock spread through the street as an out-of-control bus smashed into multiple vehicles, prompting bystanders to rush in and help the injured. Danger struck unexpectedly when an object inside a parked scooter suddenly exploded. At sea, a large machine carefully lifted a container onto a ship. Flames burst from a parked pickup truck as it caught fire, forcing a nearby man to flee while massive fireballs erupted behind him. Disaster unfolded on the railway track when a moving train slammed into parked trucks, crushing them beyond recognition. When a speeding car lost control near a sidewalk, narrowly missing a woman before crashing into a roadside pole. Luck saved the day as a roadside pole nearly collapsed onto fleeing bikers, missing them by just inches.